Hi, welcome to Betsafe with myself, Alan McInally, Sky Sports Soccer Saturday pundit, and of course with me as ever on Betsafe, ex-Arsenal and Manchester City striker Paul Dickov. We're bringing you the best of the action over the weekend, of course over the Christmas period, and we'll be hopefully focusing on my treble and Paul's treble to help boost your sportsbook wallet. Remember, Betsafe, the official betting partner of Manchester City, where Paul and I were last week for a brilliant performance by City, certainly second half, to turn over Arsenal 2-1. We got a treble up last week.
You did, big man.
Did. Well, I did. So hopefully you watch your Betsafe preview and you took my treble and Paul's treble, of course, because Paul was very close. You'd Stoke to win. They were 2-0 up against 10-man Leicester.
Couldn't believe it. I thought I was laughing all the way.
10
men, 2-0 up and then chucked it away. But
unbelievable.
This week's the one.
Yeah, well, mine was quite good as well. So mine was pretty good. So Borough, they won easy. West Ham, to be fair to them, only just beat Hull 1-0. And Manchester United, of course, who went to, was it Palace they beat 2-0, I think it was, with a massive 19-4. So that was a lovely little Christmas present. Okay, this week's Premier League preview and our trebles. Paul, you've gone Watford, West Ham, Man City at 8-1. I've gone Watford, Burnley and Leicester. Let's start with the Watford scenario. You and I normally don't go near Watford, but the fact that they're at home and against Palace, who look defensively poor.
Defensive scoring, I think only the top four have scored more goals than them. But they're conceding so many.
Yeah.
And if you look at, they've brought in obviously Benteke and Townsend to try and give them more goals, which they've got this year. But Palace the last couple of years, they're sort of the main thing about them staying in the league has been defensively, and they've been nothing. They've been shocking. If we're being honest about it.
Great. The only thing with Watford is, and then I'll give you the prices now. Then Watford 75, so odds against Watford. It's a great price, and I always say to you, and I always try and push Betsafe for the best price. It's always best price Betsafe, and I think 75 Watford's a great price. 73 to draw. Crystal Palace 21-10. I still can't take that, although you're getting nearly 2's Palace.
No, and I just think Watford being at home, the last home game scored 3 goals, beat Everton. 3-2, which was a big result for them, and they've went about it quietly. Watford this season, they're sitting there. I think they're 6 points ahead of Palace already. Mid-table-ish, and they've done great. They really have, because there was question marks at the start of the season when they changed the manager. I
wrote down one. I normally try and give you one specific bet with Betsafe. I wrote down Watford to win, Palace not to score, 29-10, only because I know that Paul's actually said they've been scoring some goals, but I think they might find it a little more difficult at Watford. Your second one, Swansea versus West Ham. You've gone for West Ham. That I can understand.
Yeah, look at Swansea conceding goals left, right and centre. I know a few weeks ago that crazy game where they won 5-4 against Palace, ironically. And then they beat Sunderland 3-0 at home. But I just think the last couple of results, up to Middlesbrough, got battered. And West Ham back-to-back wins, picking up.
But were they both 1-0s though?
Both 1-0, but they needed it.
But you take that.
They needed it, and Carroll being back, causing lots of problems as well. I just think they back-to-back wins are going to see West Ham hit a bit of momentum there.
Swansea 8-5, draw 23-10. West Ham 74. It's a big price, West Ham, considering Swansea are struggling to score goals rather. Swansea to win and both teams to score 17-4. Draw half time, West Ham full time. I think's the bet for me. 16-3 on Betsafe.
That's a great bet.
I think it's an absolute belter. I really like that one. A real surprise this next one in your treble. Hull, Man City, you've gone for Man City.
I've been staying away from them recently.
To be fair,
I've been trying to.
To be fair,
I've not wanted to jinx them, but this one I just can't. We were talking about.
Funnily enough, before you came in, Mark and I, the cameraman, Mark's the cameraman, by the way. Happy Christmas to Mark, the cameraman. We were laughing, given it. Is he not going for Man City again?
I just look back-to-back wins, huge win at Arsenal. I mean, we were there.
Second half, I thought what do I know? I'd have taken Sané off because I thought he was so poor, but he switches Sané. He stays Sané. He put Sterling out wide. He put De Bruyne up front, and forever Sané found himself in the middle, managed to get a goal back. But they were fantastic second half.
They were, and they had to be, because first half they were poor. And Arsenal looked at every time that they broke that they could have went and scored more. But second, he's obviously getting them at half time, as you said, changed the system around a little bit. De Bruyne was outstanding.
So good, by the way.
They were good with the ball, but they pressed the life out of Arsenal.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe they've had a look at the Everton-Arsenal game where it changed second half, getting right in about them, and they went and done that. And it's the best performance City have had since the Barcelona game, ironically.
I'm glad you mentioned Kevin De Bruyne, 9 assists, which is the most, but it's not just his assist. I think his overall play. I mean, the ball for for Sterling's goal. Sterling does, listen, I'm warming to him massively now, because I think he is genuinely learning. I think under Guardiola he just seems to be, I don't know, he's just different.
He's just positive and on the front foot all the time. I mean, the way the ball for De Bruyne was unbelievable, but last season now he would have took his touch backwards. And he would have laid it off to the fullback.
Probably,
he wouldn't have had the confidence to get it and get in the front foot and drive, and then go and have the shot with his left foot. We'd never have done that last year.
I've written down a couple of things as well. Is this a bet we can have with Betsafe on the handicap betting? You know, I mean, Hull are struggling, City not necessarily flying right enough. Aguero, this will be Aguero's last game.
Yep.
Before he's back, so I'm presuming it might be something similar.
Well, the way they played second half, you couldn't.
Will he? Funny enough, okay, this is a question I'm going to ask because it was in my head. Will he play Iheanacho, De Bruyne or Sterling and leave out Sané, even though Sané got them back into the game at the start of the second half?
I think he might go with Sané just to give him that bit of confidence, you know, because
he's still young though, isn't he?
He's 20, just 20, you know, and he's had a tricky start, got injured early doors, he's been in and out of the team, and you could see him after he scored that goal, he grew in confidence because he was struggling a little bit first half, and I think, look, I'm not going to tell Pep what to do.
Here we are.
But as a young kid scoring his first goal, you know, and what a great game at Hull. For them to go and score goals, and I think, you know, talking about the handicap here.
Well, I've only written -2, 2-1, which is a massive price for Man City considering I'll give you the prices of the game. Hull are 19-2, 49-10 the draw, 3-10, so 30-100 odds on City to win the game. Which would you expect? But with a -2 handicap, which means of course City need to win 3-0, 4-1, etc., etc., was 2-1, which I think is very big because there's no question.
I could see that happening.
The other one, if you want to really push the boat out and have a nice little Christmas present, -3 on Betsafe, best price. 5-1 might be a price, might be a good way to go. So Watford, West Ham, and Man City 8-1.
8-1, I'm happy with that.
That's not bad actually. I quite like that.
That
Would be a lovely little Christmas present. And remember, if you're a new customer and you're only just watching us on Betsafe, betsafe.com, this is our Week 18 Premier League preview. And if you are a new customer and you want to have a £10 bet, then Betsafe will give you £20 absolutely free. It's a no-brainer. And if you fancy my treble or Paul's treble or your own, of course, then that £10 would get you £20 absolutely free. I went for Watford as well, so I need to. I agree with everything what you've said. I think the game at home as well is a big thing.
Yeah, it is. Going back to talking about Palace, I think this is a massive game for Palace as well.
Is he in trouble? The manager?
I think he's got to be. I mean, I don't like seeing managers.
He seems to have a good relationship with the owner.
Yeah.
Although that can only go so far, of course.
It does, Alan. And if you're spending £30 million on one player and you're a point above the relegation zone,
you'd have liked that budget at Oldham when you were manager there.
Tell me about it. But you don't care how well you get on with your owner. No. You know, you've got to start getting results.
Absolutely. Okay, I've then gone Burnley, Middlesbrough. I know that Burnley got beat by Spurs, but 2-1. They scored away from home. Burnley at home are a different proposition, and I think Borough away from home are nowhere near as good as the team. All right, I know they get turned over by Liverpool, but actually they were in my treble last week. Yeah, no,
I looked at this one myself. You know, Middlesbrough won, obviously beat Swansea 3-0.
Yeah, they did.
But Burnley at home are completely different. You know, I think they've only lost to Man City. And they're just.
And remember, they've already beaten. I can't actually remember now. I'm going to say it. I know they beat Liverpool. I think they beat Everton.
Yep.
They were very unlucky against Arsenal.
Yeah, last minute.
Their home form has been pretty good.
It is, and that's why they're doing so well at the minute. Scoring goals at home, and I think Middlesbrough they went to Arsenal and City and got a draw by sitting in and defending for 90 minutes, whereas it'll be completely different because they'll have to open up a little bit at Burnley, and I'm with you in this one. I think Burnley's home form says it all for me.
I think, I'm not saying this is going to be easy, I'll give you the odds, 19-10 Burnley, so you're getting almost twos actually. It's a massive price. Again, I'm drawn in. Betsafe have got me, because some of the prices they've been giving me this week have been brilliant for our Betsafe customers. 11-5 the draw, Middlesbrough 8-5, so they fancy Middlesbrough the bookies actually to go there, but I know it'll be tight. I just think the atmosphere will be good. You know, it's the time of year where everybody will want to go to football. And I've written down Burnley to win 1-0. Sean Dyche should bite your hand off it right now. 33-10, so just a shade of over threes. I've got to go with them. I know.
No, I like it. The only thing that could go in their favour is Negredo's back scoring goals again.
That's my only.
And looking the player he was when he first came to Man City a few years ago.
I'm hoping Keane and Ben Mee keep him.
Yeah, that was going to be a bit of a battle. That
I think so.
Yeah, huge one.
Right.
And Burnley are buzzing at the minute. You know, they've got McInally can't play till the new year. Re-signing Joey Barton.
Yeah,
which,
good point.
You know, and Joey's
and
been changed around with Joey. He's a big character in the training ground, as we all know. Sometimes not always for the right reasons, but he had a great time there before. The fans are buzzing, and you know the lads are buzzing with it as well.
We'll maybe try and get him as a special guest with us on Betsafe. That should be interesting.
We'll have to get a tape for about 3 hours because he does not shut up either.
Absolutely. So Watford Burnley, and my last one is Leicester against Everton. I've gone for Leicester. What do you think?
Look, Everton, I thought, had a goal first half against Liverpool the other night there. They'll be absolutely devastated with the goal in the last minute. You know, after having a great result against Arsenal the week before.
Leicester, you know why I've gone for Leicester? I'm sorry to interrupt.
At home?
Yeah, but I'm a little bit unimpressed. Not unimpressed with Everton. The revolution that started the season with Koeman, they were good. They've just stalled for me, Everton.
It's going to be interesting how they set about this game because you know it's like the Arsenal game at Goodison, the Liverpool game at Goodison is easy to get yourself up for as a player. You know, these games can be the most difficult ones after you've put so much effort in the build-up and the adrenaline and everything else. These can be really tricky. It'll be interesting to see what Leicester do without Vardy now. You know, they said his appeal turned down. So he's going to be suspended over the Christmas period. Ironically, quite a few have got that.
Listen, I was used to try and get a hamstring over Christmas just so I could get Christmas off. Easy question for you: a hindrance or a help?
I think it'll be a little bit of a hindrance at the minute because he's looked really sharp in the last few games. Obviously, he got his hat-trick against Man City in the last game at the KP, and it'll be interesting what they do. Does he play Okazaki, or he's got Musa that he can put up there? Who's got lots of pace. Probably go Okazaki with Slimani up there. So I think it'll be a hindrance because he's always a threat running behind.
Yeah. I've stuck my neck in the line a little bit. 75 Leicester, draw 12-5 Everton. I think they're quite short at 2-1 actually. I would expect them. Listen, they've had two really good games. They beat Arsenal. The game against Liverpool's tough. They're a little unlucky maybe to lose so late on, but I just think Leicester now, of course, and I'm fed up Ranieri saying it now, we're only focusing on the league because the Champions League will look after that when we get to it in February, March. Well, if he's saying that, this is exactly the game.
Of course it is.
They need to be given it right. Here we go. Everton coming to town. We need to win the home matches, especially, well, I don't know especially, but over the Christmas period, it's always nice to send your fans away feeling happy because it's Christmas.
Well, you know what it's like at Christmas, we've both been there. You play 3 games in the space of a week.
Oh, yeah.
That can define your season sometimes.
All day long.
And I think the games Leicester have got coming up, if they want to finish top 10 and push towards Europe, which is going to be difficult for them now, these games are huge for them.
Well, I do think it's going to be tight, although I think Leicester might nick it, and that's the reason I'm going to give you this one. 28-10, Leicester to win by 1 goal. It's a good price on Betsafe. So my treble, Watford, Burnley and Leicester, 18-1. They're all big prices.
You're getting a bit cocky.
I am getting a bit like, well done, big man. I got my treble up last week. Anyway, 18-1 for mine and 8-1 for Paul. Okay, the rest of the games, we'll touch on a couple of them. Man United, Sunderland. It's a home win, isn't it?
Yeah, United in great form at the minute. You know, and
David Moyes going back. There's no rest for him there, though, is there?
No, there's not. And I hate to say it, but I've been really impressed with Man United recently. It looks as if Mourinho's got the formation that he wants. Whether that's happened through injury or not, you know. The two centre half, Jones and Rojo, look really solid.
They've been excellent.
Rojo's not jumping in 2-footed, that is.
Exactly.
And the big one for me, we'll talk about Zlatan and Rooney and Rashford and Michael Carrick. I think it's 11 games that he started and they've won 9 and drawn 2, which...
It's a start that just tells you if he's fit, he plays, Paul.
Yeah, he's got to, regardless if you're playing 3 games in a week at his age. And the way Michael Carrick plays, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, he doesn't do a lot of running.
No.
He lets his head do the work for him.
Do the ball, do the work as well.
Positionally, he's fantastic. So for me, he's a big reason. All right, there's Ibrahimovic's goal, but he's the main reason why they've hit a bit of form now.
He's been brilliant as well, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, he has. He's finished.
I mean, they've given me a couple of stats here. I mean, Zlatan has the most shots in the league with 74. United have been controlling the games, and he's just like, he's godlike, really, isn't he?
Is it 15, 16 goals already in all competitions? And people are saying that
Different class.
he can't handle the Premier League.
Rubbish.
Talking about Carrick at the start of the season been in and out. If Zlatan's fit, he plays in every game.
Correct, absolutely. This will be the market with the triple chance bet. Those of you who are regular Betsafe viewers to our Premier League preview, you'll know that we put up a triple chance now. I don't have the odds for it, but you'll get Ibrahimovic, Jones or Defoe to score first in the game, and you will be given that triple chance. It's a single bet, and if you want to have a bet on that, then click on the link, go to the triple chance and have a bet. I would say you'll probably get twos, I think. Maybe,
no, you will do.
So that's Ibrahimovic, Jones or Defoe to score yet as your triple chance bet. It will be on the Manchester United Sunderland game. United are 3-13, heavily odds on, 21-4. Sunderland 15s. If you're a Sunderland fan, you want to bet them, phone me, I'll give you a little bit more than that. United to win 2-0, odds on 6-7. I might still be tempted. Chelsea against Bournemouth. Chelsea are looking like
they are, and what's it, 11 wins in the bounce now. Costa out though. You know that's
he
the
got
big one
booked,
as well.
didn't he?
Yeah, he got booked.
I've just forgotten about that.
Coincidentally with the Christmas period again.
He was maybe waiting for the over Christmas.
A little holiday back home to Brazil, I think that is.
Can you make? I mean, we've tipped Bournemouth up a couple of times, and Bournemouth have been all right. Although to be fair, they were maybe a little disappointing against Southampton. Southampton went there and turned them over.
Yeah.
But can you make a case for Bournemouth? What are they? 2063.
I would like to, because we all like Bournemouth. We all like
do.
Eddie Howe and how they play and
Absolutely,
everything else. But I just think the way Chelsea are playing at the minute, even without Costa, creating loads and loads of chances. Defensively.
Who plays, by the way? Batshuayi?
Yep, could do.
Probably?
Yep, I would say so. But they could put Hazard up there. There's a number of things they could do, but I would say Batshuayi would be the one. But I can't go away from Chelsea, scoring loads of goals, not conceding, looking strong, looking honourable, and they've got players in their squad that know how to win titles, and I think that showed in the last 3 games in a week, and they all won them 1-0 without being at their best. That tells you a story. Yeah,
absolutely. 3-8 Chelsea, 39-10, so almost 4's the draw if you fancy Bournemouth to try and suffocate Chelsea and keep them to a draw. Bournemouth 26-3. Chelsea to win by 1 is 5-2. Chelsea to win 2-0 is 5-4, which might be quite good, but I've got a soft spot for Callum Wilson. I like him. I like Josh King as well. And I know Wiltshire's done really well, and I like Harry Art in the middle of the pitch. I think this would be a good test for them to go to Chelsea as well, and just see psychologically for them as a football team where they are.
They are, and look, I know Southampton turned them over at home, but their home form's been really, really good. Both recently, and they have struggled away. You know, they've to go away and pick up points, and that's why Chelsea being top of the league at the minute. They look great. They really do. Everybody's performing to the top level that they've got, and I would like to give Bournemouth a chance, but I can't.
Yeah, you can. I think even Chelsea 3-8 odds on. I think if you're putting in doubles and trebles, I think they might be one of them. And remember, if you fancy your own treble and you're a new customer, a £10 bet, and we will give you, or Betsafe will give you £20 absolutely free. Okay, last one I'm going to mention, just because they won in the last minute the other day, and I need to mention Stoke because you're probably seething and hate Stoke at the moment because they let you down in your treble last week. Liverpool against Stoke City.
Look, Liverpool will be
heavily odds on 2-7. Is that too short?
No, I just think, especially at Anfield, how they're playing. You know, they've spoke loads this season about how the crowd's on side with the team and the camaraderie that they've got, how they press teams, and I can see that being Liverpool. And Coutinho's due to come back soon.
When is he back, Paul? I mean, I know we don't know that.
There's talk of him being back, or them keeping him for the Man City game in New Year's Eve, and trying not to rush him back. But the other night that I thought Liverpool played really well against Everton. I thought Daniel Sturridge coming on made that little bit of class.
I agree.
Him getting back fit again. They look great going forward. We say it every week. And the big thing is talking about goalkeepers. McInally's come in 2 clean sheets after everybody saying that they can't defend. So defensively they've shut the door a little bit, and I think Stoke, I know how Mark will go there and set up.
I was going to say, that leads me perfectly to my next question about defensively. Stoke were down to 10 men against Southampton at home and managed to scrape out a 0-0, and Southampton couldn't score, and yet they're 2-0 up against Leicester. Leicester go to 10 men.
And can't see out the game.
And they can't defend.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. In the space of 4 days, is that? I just think, look, Stoke aren't scoring a lot of goals, and I know Mark Bowen, Eddie in his best game, Mark Hughes, when they go to the Anfield, the Uniteds, he sets up very similar than he did to 10 years ago when I was with him in Blackburn, and it will all be about keeping it really tight, condensing the play, denying any space in behind is a big thing, which he does, and look to hit them in the break. But I just think Sturridge coming back, Origi's looking sharp. Firmino, I just think Liverpool at home.
Might have a little bit too much. Liverpool 2-7, 51-10 the draw, so you're getting over 5s the draw. 19-2 Stoke, which is probably just about right the way they're playing. If you fancy Liverpool, -2 on the handicap, 2-1. I think it may be quite tight, but I think it will be a very good game. I'll just go over the trebles one more time. My treble is Watford, Burnley and Leicester, all to win at 18-1. Paul's treble, Watford, West Ham and Man City to win. And remember, that treble chance will be in the Manchester United Sunderland game. Ibrahimovic, Jones and Defoe. And if you fancy a bet on that particular game, then click on the link and have a bet on it. Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas,
Merry Christmas to Mark, our cameraman, to everybody.
Mark.
If you go to the football over Christmas and New Year, we will be speaking to you just after Christmas, hopefully to bring you our betting preview for the games over the New Year's Eve and of course on the 2nd of January. So everybody in Betsafe land, Merry Christmas, fingers crossed, and hopefully that sportsbook wallet will look a little better after Christmas and New Year.